So this is actually a video I've been planning to do for a long time since the new firmware came out, but I've been really busy showing the demos of the pixel sequencer. But let's not forget about the regular blade profiles and the fun stuff you can do with that. So as you can see here, this is a unstable blade. It's very bright and it's flickering a lot. Now what you can do with the latest firmware update is you can set the sensitivity of the motion mapping of certain layers on the CFX. This can be the unstable layer, this can be the flickering layer, and there are several parameters that you can link to this motion sensitivity. Now what you can do with this is you can create a flickering layer, as I've done here, and overlay that on the entire blade. Now, what you can do using swing bright and swing dampen is you can place that on the unstable layer. And if you reverse the order of that, you can create one layer that disappears on motion and another layer that appears on motion. And what you get when you combine the two is this, a regular unstable blade, but on motion you will get the this is the unstable effect, which is a flame effect, and I've made this blue because the combination worked really good and it's hard to see on camera, but let me show you the effect when I disable all the motion mapping. I'll disable the flicker style and I'll disable the swing bright. So this is actually the effect which you get when you are in motion, and when you're not in motion you will get the flickering effect. So that's this. I've just shared this the parameters to do this yourself online, and I'll link this video to that so you can start experimenting by yourself. Okay, now let's try to create this effect starting from scratch so you can see what I'm doing. First of all, I'm starting off with a clean blade profile and a clean color profile. So I've just created a color profile which lights up the blade green. I can show you the green blade. Let's ignite. This is the green blade. Now, first of all, what you want to do is you want to create a flickering effect over the entire length of the blade. Now, what we can do, we can use these flickering parameters to create that effect. First of all, I'd like to use the noise effect, and I'd like to set it to a maximum effect. So if you increase the force flicker and the depth flicker, you will see the effect on the blade. And if we select a flicker color, that will really stand out, like this one. Okay, so let's have a look right now. So we now have a rather visible flickering layer. What we can do is we can link this flickering layer to a mapping flicker. Now it's static, but we can link it to motion. So this will determine that the effect will only be visible during motion. And then these new parameters come into play. This is the mapping move, in which you can set and say, okay, I want the effect to start at this number, and I want the maximum amount of the effect to be applied at this number. So you can play with it, and if you make it really low and set this first parameter also really low, then the effect will start immediately and be applied at maximum level really quickly. So you can determine here if you need to swing really hard to get the maximum level, or it will be instantly applied. let me show you how this will look right now. So right now you don't see any effect. So if we start moving, you can see by the color of the floor that the effect will be applied. And when it's not in motion, it will not be applied. So, okay. The fun thing about this parameter is that it can be this selection. It can be flipped. So if you place them backwards, then it will act like the swing bright or swing dampen effect. So right now I've turned those around, and now you can see that the effect is always there until I start moving, and then you can see again at the floor that the regular green blade will appear. So now we have a unstable blade, which on motion turns to a regular stable blade. So that's step one. Let's turn this flicker effect off and move on to the unstable effect. So let's select a unstable effect, which is a flame, a regular flame. And let's make sure it's going to be visible by playing with these parameters. And the colors. If you set the unstable dark spots and the unstable FOC spots to a very high level, then usually your flame will appear. So right now we have a very erratic flame that is there. Now what we can do is we can set this to motion and to swing bright. So during no motion it will be a regular blade, and on motion, as you can see right here, you will see the flame. Now if we combine the flickering effect and we activate that again, set this to noise, you will now see that when the blade is static you will see the regular unstable effect, and when we start moving it will be replaced and the flickering effect will disappear, and because of the swing bright the stable blade will be replaced with the flame blade. And this is how you can create your own effect. You can do this actually with every unstable effect that you want. So I don't know if it's going to work right away, but we can select a Sauron effect. Let's have a look. You can see the dark spot. It's very hard to tell on camera, but you can see the dark spot appear. So you can use any unstable effect and overlay this with a flickering effect, and this way make an unstable blade that will show any of the unstable effects on motion, or vice versa. So this is how you can do it yourself. Good luck, bye bye.